his house. It's a little cave home down here.
Three, two, one. This is like the fifth take, but it doesn't matter because it's fun and I love it. So, hi, it's me, Luis. Welcome back to Papilla Adventures. In today's video, there were 4 gays on the Mountain Rainier. Papa, our friends Jason and Leon, and yours truly. The 4 of us set out on a gorgeous adventure along the Berkeley Park Trail, surrounded by meadows so dreamy, surreal. From there, we wandered up toward the Fremont Fire Lookout. Well, most of us. Papa decided to chill at the roundabout since the last stretch gets a little too catwalky for his taste. And honestly, fair enough. The cliff edge is very steep. The lookout was amazing, but the trail itself was incredible. Wildflowers carpeting the hillsides, colors everywhere, and an intoxicating kind of quiet. And then, the highlight of our day was when we met a full marmot family. The mama marmot and the papa marmot were gathering food for the baby marmots. While they wrestled and played, it was so cute. So sit back and allow the footage to do the talking. I wish you could smell this place. Every breath through your nose becomes its own little pleasure circuit. Pure mountain magic.
At this elevation, spring in this part of the national park is pretty late. We were there in mid-July and it was a wildflower buffet. And since then, we've learned that plants that should not even bloom together somehow do because of the unique microclimate in the Berkeley Park Meadows. This area of Mount Rainier, Mount Tahoma National Park, sits on really thin volcanic soil. So the soil's only 2 to 3 inches deep in most areas. So the roots have a very thin layer of soil to brace themselves in, to sturdy themselves in. And the ground here is described as living velvet, very soft, beautiful, and it's easily damaged. So one step off the trail can interrupt the soil crust and crush the plant. Because the growing season here is so short, only 6 to 10 weeks, recovery can take years. Some of the flowers that were blooming while we were there are the alpine lupine, the hippie heads. The more formal name is the western anemone, distort, paintbrush, pink mountain heather, and phlox, all blooming at once, together. No one seems to know why this area is called Berkeley Park. Even the National Park Service's official place names literally list this as origin of name, not asserted. So if you have any ideas, we would love to hear them. Please comment. The Berkeley Park Meadows part of this hike, we did not see a lot of people. We saw a lot of beautiful flowers, and we saw a lot of marmots. In this part of the national park, these are hoary marmots, Hoary, and there are a lot of them, and they like to eat a lot. That's understandable because they hibernate for most of their lives. And we were there in mid-July, and these marmots may have only been out of hibernation for the season for a week or two, because they hibernate for up to 9 months. And in this part of the park, they usually come out in late June or early July, depending on the weather. Fremont Lookout is located at 7,181 feet in elevation. It is the highest of the 4 remaining fire lookouts in Mount Rainier National Park. It was built in 1934, and hikers report that occasionally, usually on weekends, you might see park staff in the lookout, answering questions for visitors and sharing information.
Three, two, one. To identify these flowers, the pink ones are called Indian paintbrush. The yellow ones are called lousewort, Lousewort. The purple ones are alpine lupine, and the Dr. Seuss looking ones are called Western Pasque flowers, Pasque, and these are going to seed. Earlier in the season, they're just tiny little white flowers.
Come play with me.
There's one over there going to do.
He's an introvert. Hey, sweetie. It looks like you found something good.
The marmots coming out.
Where? Oh, from the cave?
Yeah.
Kids.
Alright, kids.
Don't touch a stranger.
There's a monster up there. Don't go too close. There she is. Hey, Mama. Hey, Mama. We can go collect her far away one.
Right day to do Meadows.
The right day.
The right day to do Meadows. Title of this video, the right day to do Meadows. You know?
Did you hear me?
Have you said this one out what?
Don't be upset.
Take 3. A narration, Mount Fremont Fire Lookout, and geology. Up here, near the Mount Fremont Fire Lookout, the landscape tells a story that is much older than any one of us. Most of these ridgelines, the ones you see stretched out, were carved by ancient glaciers. Thousands of years ago, this whole area was buried under rivers of ice that moved as slow as stone. The glaciers scraped the valleys clean and left behind sharp ridges and exposed old volcanic rock that Rainier threw out in past eruptions. The dark, broken cliffs that you'll walk past on the way up to Fremont, those are andesite and basalt. Pieces of Rainier's early life hardened lava that's been weathered by ice, wind, and time. When you get up high like this, you can actually see the difference in rock layers. Older volcanic debris and younger deposits left behind as the glaciers retreated. Fire Lookout history. The lookout itself was built in 1934 by the Civilian Conservation Corps. Young men were hired during the Great Depression to build trails, roads, and structures across national parks. Mount Fremont is one of the last surviving fire lookouts in the area, sitting at over 7,000 feet. Back then, this was prime wildfire spotting territory. Rangers lived up here for weeks at a time, sleeping in the tiny cabin, scanning the horizon for smoke with nothing but binoculars and hand-drawn maps. No radios, no drones, just human eyes and nature. Views into Rainier's volcanic past. From the lookout, you get one of the best views of Mount Rainier's north face, the steepest, most heavily glaciated side of the mountain. You can see the Winthrop Glacier and Emmons Glacier, two massive rivers of ice slowly grinding their way downhill, shaping the mountain as they move. Every crack, crevasse, and blue shadow is part of a system that is constantly shifting. And when you look out further, the ridges toward Grand Park and Skyscraper Mountain, these are flat because they were once filled with stagnant ice, basically a giant frozen lake or lakes that melted away and left behind those straight, smooth benches. As for wildlife and high alpine life, up here the air gets thin, the weather turns fast, and only the toughest plants and animals survive. You'll see mountain goats picking their way across the loose rock, hoary marmots whistling from the talus slopes, and these meadows, so beautiful, full of paintbrush, lupine, pasque flower. These only get about 2 months free of snow each year. Everything up here lives on a deadline. Grow fast, reproduce fast, and hold on long enough for the next melt. Why does this place feel different? What makes Fremont special is the mix of all of it. The geology, the history, the thin air, the silence. You're standing on a rock shaped by fire and ice, walking a trail built by hand almost a century ago, and looking out at a volcano that is still very much alive. It's the kind of place that reminds you how young we really are compared to the age of everything else. And how lucky are we to stand here, even for a moment, and take in this view.
There are so many flowers. Just endless. It is. Wow.